What's up, everybody? It is 11:30. It is the 10th day of March. I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming, the OGGM. Feeling a little under the weather today. Could be the weather, could be just food, could be life, who knows. But it's time for the crowdfunding news of the week. So the following crowdfunding Kickstarter projects are coming to an end. If any of these sound like something you would be interested in supporting, check them out. From Connor Alexander, we have Coyote and Crow, the role-playing game. This is an original system. This is basically how would the Americas be if Europe never colonized it. So it's a RPG promises a fresh and refreshing view of the near future. True differences, time diverted before 1492. So basically, what if America had never been colonized by the Europeans? Well, interesting. Alternate fiction. From Loresmith, we have Remarkable Cults and Their Followers. This is for any role-playing game, 100-page system defining weird, wacky cults for your favorite fantasy role-playing game, or really pretty much any game that might have cults in it. From Onyx Path Publishing, we have Victorian Mage, the tabletop role-playing game. This is the 20th anniversary edition for Mage the Ascension. This is basically a book that takes Mage into the Victorian era. From Sundial Games, we have the 222 Quest Calendar, an Adventure a Day RPG. This is our role-playing game calendar. It's basically every month or every day you have an adventure or an NPC or an idea. 365 days. Interesting. I like that. From Penning Intern, for Powered for the Apocalypse, we have Stone Top. It's a high fantasy Iron Age role-playing game using Powered by the Apocalypse to tell the story of people saving the city of Stonetop. From SHM Publishing, we have Savage Company, Machines of War. This is a diesel punk military fantasy role-playing game using 5th edition. Wow, those are two words I just don't see fitting together. 5th edition D&D and diesel punk. Well, first off, diesel punk isn't a word. But second, just those two do not fit together. Just because you can use 5th edition doesn't mean you should use 5th edition. I mean, if you're hoping for that Critical Role money because you use 5e with your product, I'm sorry. 5e is not a universal system. And speaking of 5e, Legendary Games has a Savage Creatures for the Deep for D&D 5th edition monster book coming out. So this is 80 pages of ocean-based adventure monsters. So if you're running a campaign with a lot of boats and sailing and pirates and stuff like that, this is the kind of book just for you. From Cabal of Entertainment, we have Alchemy and Poisoncraft for 5th edition. This is basically alchemy, poisons, alchemical monsters, stuff like that for your 5th edition game. From AAW Games, we have the Survivalist Guide to Spelunking for D&D 5e. Veins of the Earth is a much better product. So I'm going to say that. Veins of the Earth is an amazing product about the world of the Underdark. So this sounds like just a watered-down version of Veins of the Earth. But if you feel you need a spelunking guide to the Underdark for your 5th edition game, support this Kickstarter. And from Stephen Puntonki, we have a game called Diesel. Basically, it's rebuilt the human world. You're basically a diesel-powered cyborg fighting in a weird alternate West. This game sounds a lot like Through the Breach. You're fighting in this weird nebulous limbo between the real world and the other world. You're playing characters who are diesel-powered cyborgs. Yeah, this sounds really familiar. But good for you, because it's not 5th edition. From Cartographer, we have Augmented Reality Tabletop Terrain Builder. So this is a a program that builds 3D encounters for your role-playing game that you can use on, an app type gaming thing. From Anchor Forge Tabletop, we have a Sci-Fi Masters Toolkit Kickstarter. This is map-making software for science fiction. And that is every Kickstarter that is coming to an end this week. If any of these sound like something you want to get behind, check out your local favorite crowdfunding or Kickstarter site and support them. Kickstarters are the way of the future for small companies to get support for their product and get funding for their product. As Hasbro gobbles up the majority of the market, it's going to be harder for small companies to make any money. Kickstarter is the way for making them. The 220 the Quest a Day role-playing game adventure calendar sounds like my pick of the week. But if any of those sound interesting to you, don't run to your nearest friendly local game store and ask them to look into it for you. I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming. Support me, Pepsi, and I will talk to you later.